Inspiring Scotland is a fantastic organisation to work with because our role is to raise money and to use that money to address social issues across Scotland, and we do that by funding charities who are essential in our landscape to help people who are living in poverty and disadvantage. So we are a team of 45 wonderful people, and we manage 13 social issue funds, and we're managing at the moment around 120 million, or have managed 120 million pounds of investment, which, as you'll recall, we channel to those essential organisations who are best placed to help people work across Scotland. I was very excited when Inspiring Scotland had the opportunity to be involved in the programme, because we are all about equality and equity and opportunity for people. So any opportunity to make Scotland a more accessible, inclusive and understanding place for autistic people, for them to be able to learn, work and live and be able to contribute and to be valued is so important, and that's why we were really keen to be involved in this work.
Inspiring Scotland is all about addressing poverty and disadvantage. So we evaluate, we learn, we emphasise the importance of being able to articulate the difference we make, and we share that learning, and that way we will all learn how to produce a Scotland that is fairer, kinder and gives everyone the same opportunities.
The Scottish Government made the decision to provide the funding to make Scotland a more accessible, inclusive and understanding place for autistic people and their families. Our partnership with Inspiring Scotland helps us to ensure we can successfully deliver these outcomes. The work that we do with Inspiring Scotland is we work very collaboratively together to support those organisations, to make sure that they're meeting their targets, work with them if they require additional support, which obviously a lot of organisations have needed in the current pandemic situation.
One of the key parts of the programme was ensuring that autistic involvement was there at every part of the development, both before the programme was actually launched and after the launch. Because ensuring that autistic voices were heard as part of this work ensures that we are delivering the right outcomes for autistic people in Scotland. And in order to make that happen, there were 3 key parts to the programme. These are the steering committee and the advisory forums, secondly, the marketing campaign, and thirdly, the funded charity projects. A steering group that has 6 voting members. Those members are made up of 3 autistic individuals and 3 non-autistic individuals. And we spent a lot of time talking to and discussing with people who were involved in the steering committee about how best to make that work well for everyone. And I'm pleased to say that the steering committee has worked particularly well in terms of ensuring that the programme progresses as it should do.
It's so important in this campaign. That's why I want to be involved, because I want to ensure that everyone has a life that they deserve, that they don't experience prejudice or discrimination for something entirely without their control, the same way it would be if someone was autistic.
I think the programme that the Scottish Government's doing, and which I'm on the steering committee for, is going to make a huge difference in terms of raising awareness of autism amongst the wider population in Scotland. I think that's absolutely crucial. People know about it. I think people know about autism, but maybe not quite enough. So hopefully this programme will give people a deeper understanding.
So the advisory forums were established to put the lived experience of autistic people right at the heart of the programme. The forums basically allow us to gather feedback from a wide range of autistic people all over Scotland and give us their opinions. Those opinions then feed into the steering committee and the decisions that are made by them, which shapes the overall direction of the programme.
Being part of the advisory forums has given me the chance to advocate for the human rights of the autistic community, which includes people like myself and my son. I've had the opportunity to share knowledge from our lived experience. It's important to feel heard and seen in representations of autism, and the forum has provided that space and has been a respectful and inclusive environment. I have loved meeting other autistic advocates and having the opportunity to make a connection and talk about our experiences. Taking part in the forums has reminded me that inclusion isn't a destination, it's an activity, and it's a feeling that happens in the here and now.
Being involved with the advisory forum as well, do you know, I think it's been a fantastic opportunity to actually get to know some more of the autistic community, to put people in touch with each other. I mean, people that I knew already, but maybe haven't had much of a chance to talk with, for example. I love that. I love that network building. You know, I love meeting new people and seeing other people get in touch with each other and just building that sense of community and identity. And so no, that's been really good fun for me. And just to be part of the whole campaign, really, in that, you know, because I think it's so important. I mean, I really believe in this campaign, and I'd really love to see how so many autistic voices have been facilitated in this process. That's what I think is really hugely valuable.
Everybody felt really valued, and I remember leaving the first meeting thinking that was just so much fun, that was great, that was really, really lovely. And I was showing everybody out from the building, and again, everybody was saying, when's the next one? Can we do this again soon? Let's meet up. It was really nice. And we ended up, as a charity, keeping in touch with a few of the forum members.
I've been to quite a few of the advisory forums over the course of this campaign, including a somewhat tentative meeting in Glasgow not long after we'd learned about the pandemic that involved lots of hand washing. I've been really touched by the warm welcome I've received at all of these meetings, and as a team we've really appreciated how openly and generously people have shared their stories and experiences across these meetings. I'm a researcher, so I meet lots of different people in the name of doing my job. But despite that, I've got incredibly vivid memories of really specific moments from some of the advisory forum meetings. I won't mention any names, but stories of tiny day-to-day moments that are mostly straightforward for non-autistic people, but can become incredibly complicated and often painful for many of the people we've spoken to, simply because non-autistic people don't understand. I'm not autistic, but thanks to everyone autistic who spoke so openly and honestly about how rubbish we non-autistic people can be at understanding, I hope we've got some way towards making something that will start to make a difference.
Working at a local level is key in supporting the messages being communicated via the campaign. 9 organisations in total are part of the programme. The projects focus on 2 key areas, employment and community.
Employment, for example, could be increasing an employer's understanding of autism and working with employers to change their practices. Community could look to make participation more accessible and help autistic people live active and independent lives.
Obviously, I then had to have a look at the employment project and go, well, how am I going to still manage to deliver this in the midst of this, what felt like mayhem, really. And I can honestly say that the support from Inspiring Scotland, it was just fantastic. And it wasn't just actual activity, it was the engagement, it was the genuine, warm, we want to help you do this kind of support that made you feel like actually you were working with really, really good friends who also knew what they were doing. And
Understanding Autism campaign, the marketing side of it, has a call to action for people to go in and learn a little bit more about autism and what it is like to be autistic, how to support autistic people, how to treat autistic people. And as part of that, we have a website working group that is putting together some good quality information about autism, information that destigmatizes autistic people, information that is reframing the narrative around autism as well. A large part of what we do at the One Stop Shop is reframing the narrative and moving away from deficit-based terms to looking at autism as something that's not good or bad, it is just a way to be.
So I think that the project in itself, because it does have that national reach, because we are involving the communities that we are supporting and that the challenges and barriers are affecting, but also because we have that balance of we're not just trying to support the autistic community, what we're actually doing is supporting the non-autistic community, which is the key to the whole thing, because actually to get engagement and to get people really and truly working for an inclusive, diverse workforce or community life, you know, we need the community involved in that, or the wider community involved, so it is really important.
Usual Place is an award-winning social enterprise. It grew out of the voices of young people with additional support needs in 2011. These young people came together to answer the question, what needs to happen for me to reach my full potential? Young people told us that when they left school, they fell off a cliff. Their destination wasn't the same as other young people, university, jobs, self-employment and other careers. They ended up in institutional care, volunteering and sometimes just sitting at home on the sofa. Young people wanted something different. They wanted a life, not a service.
So the original project was to encourage businesses to come along to the Usual Place, to come to business breakfasts, and we would then talk to them about the training that we have on offer. We offer training and we offer opportunities for people to come in and do a work placement with us from other businesses to see the skills and qualities that our trainees have and to see how those trainees could be really good employees for them in the future.
It's to learn how to work safely. I mean you were shown how to work safely and obviously to work with somebody too.
I'm trying to look for a job outside of here. So yeah, it's been fantastic. They've taken their time with me.
What kind of
The Autistic Artist Research Group, also known as ARG, was set up at the end of last year with funding from Inspiring Scotland. And the original idea was that the group would visit Glasgow museums and sort of record their experiences there, and show what it's like for autistic adults going into these places and the difficulties that they might find there, the things that they found were good and the things that maybe could be improved.
There's been a lot of different things that have kind of made it more complicated. Like, I think a lot of people, we like the routine, so art, for me, it's like I do art when I'm in a certain building and I can't go to that building anymore, so it's been this kind of jumble of trying to work out how do I do that not in the building, because it doesn't follow my routine and where I expect it to take place. So kind of trying to find ways to work around that and figure out how I can do that at home, even though for some people it might seem very easy to work that out. It's more complicated for me, and I'm sure for other people in our group as well.